Hello. So I'm like my dad in some ways, but the needing notes part is always has been something I need. I use size 11 font, fragmented sentences. I wanted to get up here and share something that maybe, in the hours of filming that the CNN crews did with us, maybe wasn't heard or wasn't shared. And gosh, it was like so touching to hear what my dad has meant to so many people. So I wanted to share sort of 4 main roles that my sister and I grew up with, and how I feel sort of they shaped us and how they shaped my dad. Number 1, you double toast your bagels. The rest are a little more serious. The second was you never assume that you know what someone else is going through. My dad grew up watching his father run a pharmacy, and he would see people coming in for medications that you would never know from looking at them that they needed, and it really gave him a sense of empathy and compassion early on. And he always reminded Lori and I to do the same no matter what. The next rule was to always be yourself and not your title. And my dad, he's been Sandy, whether that was with his students at Harvard, whether it was his patients in the clinic, his constituents in South Florida. And there's one hat that I think hasn't really been talked about much. There's been so much focus on my dad as the person living with Alzheimer's, but my dad was his father's caretaker for years. My sister and I grew up watching my dad every morning, working multiple jobs, stopping what he was doing to bring my grandfather Leon donuts and a Coke. The nursing home that he was living in with advanced stage Alzheimer's didn't think that folks should be eating so many donuts or drinking so much Coke, but it was really the only thing my grandpa would eat. And my dad spent hours by his side being his friend. And it was only through that I think, he got a glimpse into what he was going to face sadly himself. But I think it gave him that learning to know how to handle it and teach us what to do to be that kind of friend to someone else. Particularly when advocating for Alzheimer's awareness, I think that second lesson about never assuming you know what someone else is going through has also really shaped my dad and has helped him become the advocate that we're here recognizing today. I missed the last rule. Rule number 4 is to always be grateful for your friends. And he always would say, if you have 5 friends that you can count on, you're lucky. And to sort of think of those friends as the 5 fingers of your hand. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me to know that my dad has throughout his life continued to grow such amazing fingers. And living at Westminster Oaks, he's like grown all new arms worth of fingers that have propelled him to be able to do what he's done. That this community has really given my father and our family tons of energy and a lot of inspiration. So to carry that analogy to its logical end, if you're thinking of friends as fingers, and you can't really pass the baton without your hands, it gives me a lot of gratitude to know that what he started with all of these efforts is really being carried by hugely able, awesome, inspiring hands. And next year during Service Recognition Day, I know there's going to be another member of this community who's carried a baton, whether it's on Alzheimer's or some other issue, and really champion something that's close to their hearts, making a difference to all of us here. So on behalf of the whole Halperin family and the extended Crawford Cyphers family, we thank you for what you've done and who all of you are.